all here tonight to be able to hear what the Lord has been doing through Doulos Ministries over the last year. Well, actually, it's been 2 years since we've had one of these dessert nights, so we've got a little bit of update to be able to give you. But we're only going to go back for 1 year, so we won't be here all night. The thing that I wanted to be able to say, just to be able to start here though this evening, and that is that I just want to be able to say thanks to some key people, because I know what will happen is that I will forget by the time the evening is over, and I will then go home and say to myself, why did I not thank these people at the beginning? And so I'm going to thank them right now. But I just want to be able to thank Les and Marjorie and Marnie and Christine. They are the backbone behind a lot of what we do in Doulos, and not only in terms of helping oversee the ministry, but also helping to offer the support that makes it all happen. And many people often say that I work for Christine because she administrates and makes things flow for me in the way that I need it to be done. I also want to be able to thank my family, and I just really appreciate the fact that I've had their ongoing support, and especially my best friend, who I've been married to for over 36 years. And so that is just an absolutely wonderful thing for me. There she is back there. I also want to just be able to extend a thanks so that it's on the record as well for people like Andrew and Sarah Woolsey. They're not able to be here tonight. They're down in the States celebrating American Thanksgiving with her family. But very thankful for Andrew over the years, and Sarah this past summer and the summer before, where she's made a real dedicated effort to come out and help us out with the camps and stuff that we've been doing. It's been wonderful. I'm thankful for MJ and Amanda. You're going to get to hear a little bit more about MJ a little bit later. We're very thankful for her. Thankful for Jeremiah and their daughter Emma, who's here tonight as well. And also thankful for Gordon and Mary Jane Petawabano. And they're all down from Mistissini and down to be able to take part here this evening. And you're going to get a chance to be able to hear from Gordon in a bit as well. One of the things that I wanted to be able to share with you in terms of being able to understand things then is that my name is Paul, for those of you who may not know who I am. But one of the things that has been amazing to me about this ministry that we named Doulos many years ago. And Doulos is simply the Greek word for servant. And basically what it means is that we come alongside that which already exists. It's working in the areas of youth and young adults. And basically what we do is we help them to be able to follow the vision, the dream, the calling that God has given them. And in order that they're operating in might become something greater than it is. And so if you were to walk around the city and honestly ask people if they know of Doulos Ministries, I doubt hardly more than a handful would say yes. If you went up north, I think, Gordon, nobody would know what Doulos Ministries is. Am I right? He's thinking about it. But nobody would know what it is. And people are more familiar with my name than they are with the ministry, or the many people who are behind that ministry to help it to be able to come about and make it happen. And years ago, I had a friend of mine who said, Paul, he said, sometimes we're just like that turtle that's sunning itself and enjoying the day on top of the fence post. And he said, anytime you see a turtle on top of the fence post, he says, there's one thing you know for sure, it never got there by itself. And so I am very thankful to the Lord for the many, many people that He's brought around to be able to help us to be able to do the things that we do. And in many ways, we operate in the background, but in many ways, too, we have great opportunity to see some pretty tremendous things that take place. So tonight you're going to get a chance to be able to hear about some of the different ministry things that we're involved in, some of the different things that we have the privilege of being able to do, and you're going to be able to hear that from some key people who have been a real blessing to me in their involvement in our ministry. Just to give you a quick nutshell version on something else too, so that you can appreciate this. I often have people ask me, they say, so Paul, what is it that you do? What is it that you really do? And now that you know I don't preach on a regular basis on Sunday mornings, I have no idea what I do. And so really, how do you fill up your days? What do you do? And I talk about the fact that we've got these events and things that we run, things that we're involved with, but the truth is, the majority of my time, and I probably would say almost 2/3 of my time, to 3/4 of my time, is spent one-on-one with people. Not always measurable. Not always something that you put on the forefront of something, be able to say to people, you know, well, here's statistically what I've done all week and things that I've been able to accomplish. But I do have an incredible privilege of coming alongside youth pastors and youth leaders. I have an incredible privilege of coming alongside young adults. I have an incredible privilege of coming alongside students and being able to speak into their life. And be able to come alongside and be able to, used by God to be able to speak healing into their woundedness, hope into their despair, light into their darkness, healing into their pain. And that's a huge part of what the Lord uses me to be able to do. A key verse that I wrote down years ago, I underlined very little in my Bible. If you went through my Bible that I've had for about 25 years, you probably would see that there's very little that's underlined in there. But every once in a while I underline something because it just stands out to me and hits me. And there was a verse that I underlined years ago from Isaiah chapter 50, verse 4. And it says this: "The Lord has given me an instructed tongue, that I may speak words of encouragement that sustain the weary." And I remember thinking to myself, wow, that's a neat verse. And I felt within myself that that was something that God was saying to me, Paul, that's your calling. That's your calling. Now, no way did I understand at that time that the word here for instructed tongue is a disciplined one. In other words, the Lord is going to put you through things in your life that are going to break you, shape you, form you, transform you, so that you truly can speak in an instructive way to the people around you who are weary. And I feel that that's been the beautiful thing about as I look back over my life. And I see everything that God has done, all the moments that I've been through, and the things that I've had the privilege of being able to do, brought to one place. And that is where I am right now. I'll share a little bit more about that in a bit, but right now I want to give you a chance to be able to hear from some other key people. And that will give you an opportunity to be able to hear about some of the ministry that's been going along. Anthony is somebody that I've known back since he was a teenager. And that back when you were probably grade 10 or 11, somewhere around there? Younger than that even? Yeah. And little did we know back then that one day Anthony would be working with me in Doulos. And so he's on a part-time basis with us, but at the same time he's been an unbelievably great support to me, a true answer to prayer over the last year. And I have just been unbelievably thankful for his presence and the things that he's been involved in doing. I had the privilege of doing his wedding last month, and so he's still a newlywed, and it's been great. When we were standing up there at the front, and everything was getting ready, we were about to start the ceremony, Anthony asked me, and he said, "Are you nervous?" And I looked at him, and I calmly said, "No," and I knew I lied. I was looking at this wedding and thinking, this is unlike anything I've been at before in my life. They had over 20 people from the cast of Phantom of the Opera sing her in. I mean, it was unbelievable. And truly, truly unbelievable. But what a great moment, and what a great opportunity to be involved in. But most importantly, Anthony, I have deeply appreciated the fact that you not only have come alongside and served so faithfully with Doulos and continue to do so, but I'm so thankful too for just the way that the Lord uses you. And so I'd like you to come up now and just share some of the things that you've been involved with here in